The next question, a bit related as well, is from Mudomo Warrior. Will the community be able to visit Boneworks in some form in the future, do you think? And do you think that Abe might encounter Director Fleg after the events in Soulstorm? And they also say, keep up the great work, Lorne.
Oh, thank you. I hope so. I hope so much on these things. Maybe let me just say there's some people trying to get, we'll see if it happens, but trying to get a linear series made of Oddworld. And if that happened, like a whole bunch of things can take place, like a streaming series for networks. And so that would be in the big picture. If that happens, lots more things can happen. Games happen more slowly, right? And actually tend to cost more money per episode for sure. And so they happen slowly. They're interactive and therefore just a lot more complicated in different ways. But all of the places in Oddworld, I created it with others with the passion that it was something that would have the depth that we would stay interested in for the rest of our lives. And I have, and we've sustained it. And I still feel that way. I still feel that because we crafted it out of concepts that meant something relevant and relative to us in this time and space on this planet, it's kind of to me, it just seemed like an endless well to create and be able to, continue to draw from and build upon. And so I hope so. I hope we can really go in there. If it was, let's just say if it was a linear series, I wouldn't want to see Abe get out of Rupture Farms till the end of the first season. Think about it that way. It's like, what was life really like in the farm if you didn't have to stream everything into how a game works? And instead just we're focused on that story as though it were an epic, kind of movie or a series of them. And that's what, like Game of Thrones or something. So if that were the case, that's what I've told that to some people. I go, if it becomes a series, I think like the end of season 1 is Abe escaping the farm. And all those episodes in between are just how fucked up it is in the farm and how, sort of precious entities bear it. And that we could really get into what is life like if you were one of these people in a farm, a factory farm, living there, being raised there. And so that, there's the depth of what we could still go into. It's just like really, excites me. I would just love to go so much deeper with it and have, dialogue and performance become the most important thing rather than playability, right? And so all your time and energy would just go into what's the quality of story, how are the characters developing, tension or relationships, et cetera, et cetera. So I hope we absolutely go back to Boneworks. If we could, I'd love to have it a major staple place, like Alderaan or something in Star Wars, places you go back to. And so the short answer is yes, you hope to. The long answer is it all costs not just money, but fortunes to make. Like you're in millions and millions for any of that content. So anytime I've said before, this is what we want to make, and we didn't have funding, and then ultimately never made it, kind of never got to live those moments down from community. You promised us this, It's like, well, I was hoping, but we didn't get to make it.
We need a Kickstarter or some form of rally within the community. Create something. Something.
Yeah, there's lots of possibilities, and but I do see it as an endless well that I could certainly continue to age into the decades and hopefully live to be able to continually build on the ideas of that property.
Awesome. Thank you very much for that.